Hello and welcome back. Let's look at one final question involving savings plans. So we have Bill here, who is 35 years old and will retire at age 65, and he wants to draw an income of $50,000 each year from his retirement plan. So his APR is 7%. So what should the monthly payments be if he wants to invest for a few years before he turns 65? How big of monthly payments would he have to make in order to have $50,000 a year from his retirement account? So first of all, we want to know, well, how do you make $50,000 a year from a retirement account? It's all of the interest that you make. So if you make $50,000 a year in interest, that's $50,000 that you can take out of your account, and then the next year you'll still earn another $50,000. So how big would his account have to be to earn $50,000 in interest? Well, your interest is just going to be your account balance times your annual percentage rate. So how much interest you earn is just going to be how much you have in there times your percent interest. So he wants to earn $50,000 in interest every year, and that's going to be his account balance, which I'll just call A, times the APR, which is 7%, but 7% as a number is going to be 0.07. So in order to solve for A here, I'll divide both sides by 0.07. I'm using multiplication, so to undo that, I use division. And we will be able to solve for A after I cancel. So coming back to decimals, I take $50,000 and I divide that by 0.07. He will need to have 700,000. So this is 714,280. Let's round it to 6. So 714,286. Cool. So this is his. This would need to be his account balance at age 65 in order to make $50,000 a year on interest, so that he could just spend that $50,000 a year and make that same amount of interest the next year. So the question is, what monthly payments would he need to make in order to get that much money into his account with that APR? Well, coming back to our formula, we know that the amount of money in our account is going to be our monthly payments times that horrible fraction, which was 1 plus our APR divided by n. So n will be 12 here, since we're making monthly payments, and there are 12 months in a year. All over APR divided by n. So what we need to do here is solve for our monthly payments, because we know how much money we want to have in our account. We know how many years we'll be investing. We know our APR. We know how many times a year we'll be making payments. We know everything but our monthly payments. And this is actually not too hard to solve, because I have my monthly payments times this number is equal to A. Well, how do I undo multiplication? I just divide by that number. So what I want to do is I want to take A and divide it by this fraction. And in the essence of time, what I'll say is that I'll just write down exactly what this is. PMT is going to be A divided by this fraction. But if we divide by a fraction, it's the same thing as multiplying it, but flipping it over. So it's going to be A times this fraction, but flipped over. So here is our formula for monthly payments. It's going to be what account balance we want times this ugly fraction, but it's something that a calculator could handle. So let's plug in our numbers. We knew that we wanted this amount in our account, so 714,286. Times, well, our APR, which was 7%, so 0.07, divided by 12 payments a year, over 1 plus, again, our APR divided by n. All this raised to the n times how many years we're investing. Oh, we didn't actually find how many years we were investing, did we? He's 35 years old now, and he's going to retire at age 65. Well, 65 minus 35, that would mean 30 years he's going to be investing money. So 12 times 30, and all of this minus 1 on the bottom. So let's plug this into Desmos. So we have our answer from before, so I'm just going to click answer, and that duplicates that. And we'll take this times this huge fraction. So on the top of the fraction, we had 0.07 divided by 12. On the bottom of the fraction, we had 2 sets of parentheses. On the inside of the inside one, we had 1 plus, again, 0.07 divided by 12. This was being raised to a power, and with the issue that we had before, we have to use a couple parentheses up there just to make sure everything stays up there. So that's going to be 12 times 30 minus 1. And so we can see here that that Bill is going to need to invest, if I round to the nearest dollar, $585 each month. Which, depending on Bill's profession, maybe that's a reasonable amount to invest. Maybe that would be hard for him to reach. That would be up to him to decide if that's something that he's willing to invest. But we can determine if we want to make a certain amount a year after we retire. We can actually calculate how much would we have to pay into a savings account in order to achieve that goal.